So, the movie begins in Spain in 1939, where we see a little girl holding a cross, surrounded by people worshipping her. From here begins Chapter 1, The Holy Girl. Then, the scene shifts 10 years later, and we meet Sister Narcissa, who has arrived at a convent. She meets Sister Julia, who takes her to meet Mother Superior. Mother Julia tells Sister Narcissa that the place used to be closed before the war, and now it's a convent. She mentions that only a few old sisters remain, along with Sister Superior, Sister Sagrario, and herself. Later, Sister Narcissa accidentally knocks over a marble and discovers a hidden compartment containing letters and a picture of a dead sister named Sister Socorro. Suddenly, a chair placed in front of Sister Narcissa falls over on its own. Anyway, someone starts knocking on Sister Narcissa's room door, but when she opens it, no one is there. She goes back inside and notices something on the wall that wasn't there before, resembling someone hanging themselves. The next day, Sister Narcissa confesses to Father that she has doubts about whether she's ready to become Mother Superior. She recalls how people used to come from afar to see her when she was a child, but now she's unsure what to do. Father reassures her that it's normal to feel scared at first and advises her to have faith in God. Later, Sister Narcissa goes to her first class, where she prays first and then writes her name on the blackboard. However, all the students seem very scared, and one girl, named Rosa, urinates in fear. Sister Narcissa accompanies her to the bathroom. After that, Mother Superior started showing Sister Narcissa pictures of her youth, and Sister Narcissa saw that one picture is missing in that album. After that, Sister Narcissa went to the room and saw the picture of Sister Socorro from that box. At that time, the chair was falls again. Immediately Sister Narcissa heard a girl's voice outside the door. He opens the door and sees no one. After that, Sister Narcissa finds a strange line and a marble on the floor. Sister Narcissa investigates further and finds a hand covered in white cloth in the basement, which she takes to Mother Superior. Mother Superior and Sister Julia explain that it's the hand of Saint Martha and that it had been missing for a long time. After this, they pray together, and Chapter 2 begins, titled, If She Writes Your Name You Are Cursed, signifying the start of more mysterious events. Sister Narcissa is seen going to her room, where she meets Sister Sagrario, who tells her that the girls mixed sweets there. Sister Narcissa tests them and finds that they are indeed mixed with something strange. At that time, Sister Sagrario kept laughing very evilly. Then Sister Narcissa saw that the sweet she was eating was not really sweet. Those are Sister Sagrario's eyes. Then Sister Narcissa started bleeding from her mouth. She wakes up suddenly, realizing it was a nightmare. Anyway, in the morning, two girls come to clean Sister Narcissa's room, where one of them sees the mark on the wall but the other girl discourages her from looking at it. Sister Narcissa goes to class and learns it's actually laundry day, with most kids washing their clothes. She tries to help, but the kids refuse, fearing Sister Julia's reprimand. Sister Narcissa then asks Rosa about the previous day's class, admitting she was scared because of something she wrote on the blackboard. Then Rosa's sister takes her away, indicating not to discuss anything. Later, in the church, Sister Narcissa sees blood oozing from her beads and a levitating woman, terrifying her. Sister Julia intervenes, calming her down. Moving on, later Sister Narcissa hears music from the girls' room and suggests they should sleep, but the girls insist they're not nuns yet, so they dance a bit before going to sleep. At night, they rush to the bathroom because Rosa's sister, who usually gets severe hiccups, needs help. Sister Narcissa is visibly distressed, praying to God for clarity. Inside the bathroom, Rosa's sister asks her to turn on the tap, but it turns on by itself, which is strange. When they go in, they find a girl asking for help from inside the bathtub, and they also find someone's hair. Sister Narcissa notices the shadow of a sister or a nun in the mirror, and as she turns, the chair, which had been falling on its own lately, falls again. Then screams are heard from the children's room. Then we see someone cut a girl's hair. Seeing the scissors in Rosa's hand, Sister Julia thinks that Rosa must have done this, but Roja denies it, as Sister Narcissa questions her about where she got the scissors from, as similar ones were found in her box inside her room. Roja keeps insisting that she didn't cut the hair, but the other girl did, who was found submerged in the bathtub seeking help. This angers Sister Julia, who slaps Rosa. Sister Julia then instructs Sister Narcissa to go to her room. When Sister Narcissa checks her box, strangely, the scissors are not there, which is quite odd. The next morning, Rosa is absent from class because she was punished and confined to a jail-like place where she's instructed not to eat anything until her punishment is over. Sister Narcissa later meets Rosa and asks her about the scissors, to which Rosa says she found them in the bathroom. Sister Narcissa inquires about the girl in the bathtub, and Rosa explains that Sister Anise, their previous teacher, warned them to stay away from her painting and stuff, but when Sister Anise saw a drawing of a legless girl with an extra leg inside the hanging man's drawing, she got scared. The girl then wrote Sister Anise's name, and after that, Sister Anise was terrified and left. Rosa also reveals that there's a spirit present, but nobody believes her. Sister Anise initially believed it but later denied it, saying anyone can write a name, and whoever's name is written gets cursed. Then we see Sister Narcissa being asked to wear Mother Superior Sister Anise's old dress, and she asks Mother Superior about Sister Anise's fear. Mother Superior explains that it's all part of the children's imagination and leaves to get some items for the dress. Sister Narcissa sees her reflection in the glass, and the dress suddenly tightens on her own. And Sister starts to choke, but suddenly she wakes up because it was also a nightmare. Anyway, then Sister Narcissa is shown again in class where she is explaining about a solar eclipse, and it was believed that on the day of a solar eclipse, many evil spirits become stronger. Anyway, there she sees Roja, who suddenly gets very scared and she runs away abruptly. Now all the girls ask Sister Narcissa to look back, where someone had written Rosa's name on the blackboard. After that, Sister Narcissa calmly walks towards Rosa and tells her that she trusts her completely and wants to see that girl, so she helps Rosa to take her to her room where the hanging man's drawing was made, and Rosa and Sister Narcissa draw the other leg of that hanging man. Then Sister Narcissa starts to look around the entire room, but she doesn't see anyone there. And explains to Rosa that there's nobody here, it's all in her mind. But suddenly the chair placed there falls on its own. And then Roja tells her that she was standing behind Sister Narcissa, and she is not a girl, but something else entirely. But Sister Narcissa couldn't see her and was also saying something. Sister Narcissa looks back and asks what she's saying, and as soon as she turns back, Rosa disappears from there. Now Sister Narcissa starts looking for Rosa everywhere, but she can't find her anywhere. She also asks her sister to find her, and Sister Julia asks her what happened. So Sister Narcissa tells her that Rosa is missing. Then Sister Julia starts to scold her, saying that she's just a fraud and a hypocrite and nothing is visible to her. She says that she always had doubts about Sister Narcissa not being suitable for this place and she should leave from there. After this, Sister Narcissa goes inside the church, and Rosa's sister also comes there, and they hear a voice from inside the confession room saying that Rosa is inside. So Sister Narcissa goes to the confession room to check, but it gets locked from inside. Now that girl goes to ask for help, then she hears Father's voice saying that he took advantage of Rosa because she wanted to see that girl. Sister Narcissa realizes that it's not Father, that is something else, and when she goes to see ahead, there are many eyes staring at her, and then many hands start grabbing her, and the next moment she comes out. Then Sister Narcissa sees that Rosa has hanged herself and she is dead, and this is the hanging man drawing. Along with that, the cursed thing had also been proven. And now, from here begins chapter 3, the final chapter, named Sister Socorro. Anyway, after this, Rosa's funeral is held, and Sister Julia tells Sister Narcissa that Rosa died because of her, so she should leave from there. Now Sister Narcissa goes to her room and cries a lot, screams a lot, repeatedly hits the chair, and decides to leave the convent. But then a solar eclipse begins, and Sister Narcissa turns towards the sun, spreads her arms, and sits on her knees. In fact, she used to do the same in childhood. Anyway, Sister Julia sees her doing all this and tries to stop Narcissa from facing the sun, and as soon as Sister Julia touches Sister Narcissa's face, Sister Narcissa starts to see everything clearly, how during the war, people destroyed the relics of this convent and stole everything. Sister Narcissa sees that a man was doing wrong things with a nun, and then Sister Narcissa wakes up here. Her eyes were in very bad condition, but she was seeing everything clearly without any pain. Her eyes were horrifyingly bloodshot. Anyway, now she starts telling all these things to Sister Julia, but she was not ready to believe these things and leaves from there. After this, Sister Narcissa tells Sister Sagrario to give her Sister Socorro's picture from that box, and as soon as she touches Sister Socorro's picture, she realizes that Sister Socorro, who was involved in wrongdoings. Now the real truth of this movie opens up, that during the war, when Sister Socorro was involved in wrongdoings, she also got pregnant. And only nuns knew about this. Sister Socorro also had a daughter, and upon hearing this, Sister Sagrario runs away from there, because she knows that Sister Narcissa knows everything, after which blood starts coming from Sister's eyes, which was a very terrifying thing. Anyway, then Sister Julia tells Mother Superior everything about Sister Narcissa knowing everything well. On the other hand, Sister Narcissa removes the bandages from her eyes, and then someone comes near her, and when she sees, it was not someone, it is Sister Socorro, and Sister Narcissa grabs Sister Socorro's hand. And she shows everything to her. Sister Socorro's daughter got very sick one day. She had a high fever, but nuns refused to take the girl to the hospital so that their convent wouldn't be defamed, as what happened with the nun inside the convent and how her child was born would be revealed. Sister Socorro wanted to take her daughter to the hospital, but all the nuns locked Socorro in her room and put her daughter in the bathtub, where Rosa had seen a girl before. In reality, they were trying to reduce her fever. Here we also see that all the doors of the convent start closing on their own, and everyone could hear Sister Socorro's screams. Anyway, when the nuns tried to put the girl in the bathtub, they accidentally hit her head on the bathtub, which resulted in her death right there. After this, Sister Socorro also hanged herself, and later Sister Julia arrived there. Sister Narcissa was watching from her room. In fact, the picture of the hanging, which was someone else's, was actually Socorro's, who was perhaps becoming her daughter. And this is why the chair kept falling repeatedly, because Sister Socorro ended herself by climbing on this chair. And before Sister Narcissa, this room belonged to Sister Socorro. Anyway, Sister Narcissa gets very angry after thinking about all the things that happened with Sister Socorro and her daughter, and she reaches there in time. She reaches exactly at the moment when Sister Socorro was requesting to open the door, and here Sister Narcissa opens the door for her. Basically, this didn't happen like this, but here we can understand that she set Socorro's spirit free, which could now take revenge on everyone. Anyway, now we see that in the past, Sister Socorro's dead body starts laughing, and seeing this, Sister Julia starts running away from there. Sister Narcissa tells Sister Julia in the present that she opened the door for Sister Socorro, and now with Socorro's spirit starts attacking everyone involved in this thing, which were Mother Superior and Sister Julia. We can see that Socorro's spirit was hurting Mother Superior and Sister Julia in the present just like she was hurting them in the past. Socorro's spirit throws a statue on Sister Julia's face and kills her, by drowning Mother Superior in the same bathtub where her daughter was killed by nuns, although nuns made a mistake. After taking her revenge, Sister Socorro's spirit is freed along with her daughter's spirit, meaning she found peace, and her revenge was complete. Anyway, after this, we see a clip of Sister Narcissa's childhood, in which she was sitting facing the sun with her arms spread, meaning she had the talent and gift given by God since childhood, meaning all those things were not false, and finally, now she was ready to become a nun because she understood the purpose of her life. In 1991, where we see a scene from the Veronica movie, yes, because the scene from the Veronica movie where old Sister Narcissa comes, who has become a proper nun now. She comes to Veronica's class and smiles at Veronica, meaning she knew what was going to happen with her here, and with this, the movie ends here. So guys, subscribe this channel now and turn on the bell notification so that you can see more videos. Thanks for watching.